Governor, you talk about, the vaccine saving lives, but Alabama still is last in the country when it comes to vaccination rates. Besides, this emotional plea you just gave us, what is it going to take to get people to get shots in arms?
I don't know. You tell me. Folks supposed to have common sense. But it's time to start blaming the unvaccinated folks, not the regular folks. It's the unvaccinated folks that are letting us down.
Well, Art, after we've reached out to Waterworks throughout the day, they're finally out here now. You can see them behind me addressing this water issue some residents say has been happening for days. You can see right here this stream going down 6th Street Pratt in between Avenues D and E, and it doesn't look like a lot at first glance, but we wanted to show you something right here. Look at the pressure that builds up right there. That's a lot of wasted water. Many residents say they wish they had this much water inside their homes.
Families across central Alabama are picking up the pieces after tornadoes touched down yesterday. The National Weather Service has been out surveying that damage. Chilton County, one of the hardest hit areas, an EF2 tornado has been confirmed just south of Pools Crossroads.
CBS 42 News reporter Jake Chapman is there tonight, and Jake joins us now live with one family story of survival. Jake.
Art, Sherry, the devastations throughout County Road 37 and 24, and we're inside one of the homes that was destroyed from Wednesday's tornadoes. Now, the couple I spoke with told me they got inside this closet right here, put those pillows over their head, and took cover. And you can see how much this damage is right here at their home. I asked them if they feared this was the end for them, and they simply told me no.
Was there ever the thought that this was the end?
No.
Jimmy Baker has lived at this house for 28 years. He takes me to the moments when the tornado hit.
We ran out on the porch, front porch, and looked, and all we could see was a big wide cloud.
And within seconds, they took cover inside this closet, putting pillows over their heads.
Enter into that closet and pray. It's in there, and that's what we did.
And seconds later,
it hit and just, we started hearing cracking, popping, and I guess a brick falling, the furniture moving.
After the storm passed, he and his wife looked at what was left of their home. All the memories inside, now gone.
Of course, I'm a grown man. I'm 80 years old, but I cried.
But through the disaster, Baker and his family are forever thankful they weren't hurt. His daughter tells me if they hadn't gone inside this closet, this could be a different story.
It's on the room, still got the top.
And as the people in Chilton County who lost so much continue to pick up,
all the bad stuff in the world, but there's still good people in it.
He says this community will come together and pull through.
And God's still working.
You can hear in his voice the sincerity right there, where there are people out here today helping them pick up the pieces of their destroyed home. He did tell me they do have insurance, and what he wants to do next to the property, well, that depends if the foundation is stable. Live in Chilton County tonight, Jake Chapman, CBS 42 News. Local coverage you can count on.
Jake, thank you.
Family members of incarcerated Alabamians are speaking out tonight about recent reports of inmate deaths. Some reportedly died of natural causes. CBS 42 News reporter Jake Chapman live in Birmingham. And Jake, relatives tell you they're growing more concerned about the inmates' safety.
Art, they're growing very concerned about the inmates' safety, and some of the stories I heard this afternoon are pretty hard to fathom, from the violence inside prison walls to the food being inedible. And families here tell me no one should go through that.
Do you believe anybody should go through that?
No, not even an animal.
This woman, who didn't want to be identified, shares with me some of the horrible things her loved one has seen in an Alabama prison.
It's a lot of violence. It's horrible. It's not just scary. It actually makes you mad.
She says the violence and conditions aren't the only problems either.
First and foremost, the food is horrible.
She said it's really, most of it's not good to eat.
This woman by the name of Connie tells me her loved one would describe the food as more than bad.
She said some of it tastes so bad that she can't eat it.
And someone who understands the pain these families are going through is Miss USA of 2020, Asia Branch.
It was terrifying to have that constant thought and know that that's a reality of it.
Her father served a 10-year sentence in Mississippi. She spoke with families and children at the church at Brook Hill Student Center, sharing her experience.
As I said, I don't know if the last time I visit my dad is going to be the last time that I'll get to see him.
And after hearing all the horrible stories inside the prisons,
You know, she tells me just about everything that goes on, more than I want to know sometimes.
do you worry about their health and safety?
I do.
These family members hope change comes soon.
The more attention it gets, the better it may be handled later on.
And I reached out to the Department of Corrections back in September when we saw an uptick in inmate deaths. We have their response to that inside CBS42.com. But when it comes to the family's claims you just heard, we're still waiting to hear back. We're in Birmingham. Jake Chapman, CBS 42 News. Local coverage you can count on.
With a special tribute to Major Dwayne Williams, one of 4 Alabamians killed during the 9/11 attacks. CBS 42 News reporter Jake Chapman tells us why students and Williams' family want to do everything they can to always remember 9/11.
As our nation remembers its darkest day, Jacksonville High School honors one of their own.
For us, it's personal.
Even if I didn't know him personally, he grew up here.
Army Major Dwayne Williams.
Today, he is one of America's heroes.
To his brother Roy.
I live my sports fantasies watching Dwayne make those circus catches on the football field.
He was more than just a sports hero.
And I got to watch my hero brother jump out of airplanes.
Williams says it took 10 grueling days to confirm the news that his brother died at the Pentagon nearly 20 years ago.
It's as if I'm locked in a horrible time warp where I relive that awful day, every day for the last 20 years.
Before Friday's tribute, Williams had to make a pit stop to this classroom.
I live all my fantasies at watching my brother.
Where senior Elaine Hudgens and her class did a project about 9/11. She says she's never known someone who lost a loved one from that day.
It was really interesting getting that kind of perspective on 9/11.
And Williams wanted to thank them personally.
Even though they were not alive when it happened, they need to know the sacrifice that happened on 9/11.
Thank you for being here, Will. We love you. Thank you for the sacrifice.
But he hopes the patriotism goes beyond this anniversary.
By trying to return to loving each other instead of all this hate and bitterness that we're seeing today.
Because being united is what his brother and all those we lost would have wanted.
For one day, for one weekend, I wish it could last longer, but I know it probably won't. We will put aside our differences and unite as Americans.
And they'll hold another tribute service to honor Major Dwayne Williams right here outside his monument. In Jacksonville, Jake Chapman, CBS 42 News. Local coverage you can count on.